Hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly Pro Team E Academy sections. So tonight we're going to talk about this golf. Okay, anyone from you all is golf lover? Okay. Before we start, can I ask for the favor? Please help us to share this video to your timeline so that more people can come and learn together with us. So today we're going to talk about the properties who surround the golf course. Okay. Let me share the link out. Okay. Okay. So have you wondered how many properties project actually surrounding the golf course in Malaysia or in Klang Valley? So buying a home overlooking the coast actually just like staying beside the beach with stunning views and easy access to the perfectly manicured landscape. I think if you love the natures, if you love a nicely view, and you love golf, I think this is today's topics might interest you on. So is it buying house surrounding here have higher capital efficiencies, or is it good for own stay or investment? Okay, is it a golf? I wonder if one day the golf ball will landing on your properties. Have you thought that before? Okay, this week we are honored to invite our IQS seniors real estate negotiator, Chikan, to come and share with us this topic. Okay, so he's a golfer as well. Okay, let's put our hand together and welcome Chikan. Hello, Chikan.
Hello. So thanks, Jason, for welcoming me back to another IQI CS Pro Team sharing night through our Pro Team Academy. So a little bit different topic today from from my usual 𝙁𝙤𝙀𝙗𝙀𝙗 series. And when Jason suggested I should share something even more personal to myself outside of where I stay, I said, okay, why not? So I will start sharing my screen and tell you a little bit about the screen, and tell you a little bit about the game and how it's changed property in Malaysia lah. Okay, so can everyone see my screen already? Is it showing?
Yes,
Is it showing?
Yeah.
Okay, you can see my screen. All right, so I'll move on here. So the topic of the day is called leisure living with golf. Like Jason said, we are going to explore golf, all its benefits, and also more of what is done to property industry lah. Because we are a property agent. We are a real estate agency after all. So moving forward, just who am I? Little short introduction again. This is me. I think I've said it quite a few times already through a few episodes. I'm a Bachelor of Media Management Marketing graduate, and my prior work experience includes, sales and also back-end marketing work. And I've been with Jason for about almost coming to 3 years now, since December 2019. Okay, so golf. Back to the topic of golf. Why golf? So golf is a game that I picked up as a kid, obviously introduced by family, and then I stopped for a very long time until I was a teenager, and then I started playing again, and I stopped again. And when I started working one day during one of my there was just one year where I was having a very relaxed year end because our sister company was running all the year end campaigns. So I decided to clean my room and everything, and I found my golf set, or rather refound my golf set. And from then on, that was I still remember quite clearly, December 2015. That's when I started playing all over again, and never stopped till today. Of course, during MCOs, I didn't really get the opportunity to play, but I still try to practice as much as I can at home. And that's how I picked up the game and how I play lah. But it's not so much of how, rather, but why I play this game. So the game of golf, if you don't play it, can be very boring. It's very normal, and I understand that feeling, because when I was a kid, when I was forced to play it as a kid, I didn't like it at all. But as you grow older, I mean, um, as you give up computer games, you will tend to you want to be outdoors more. You want to spend more time in nature. Like eventually, I think not it might not be for everyone. You might find some other form of outdoor activity, but this became the outdoor activity for me. And eventually, I ended up working for a Korean guy, also Jason Lee. Okay, that's my pen. Okay, I ended up working for a Korean guy, also Jason Lee, and it helped me build a much more stronger relationship with him. He also eventually became my supplier after he left the company, and we still maintain our friendship to this day, although he's in Korea. And then, of course, I reconnected with a lot of other friends from other activities. This is Kelvin. He's also one of our IQI agents. He joined us quite recently during MCO. And from there, we worked on a few cases together from there. And this was just me together with all of my previous suppliers from my old company. And they are also in the property industry in a way. They supply a lot of raw materials. And it helped me to reconnect. It helped me to maintain relationship with friends, family. And it is really a networking sport that it is. But golf is, of course, played on a golf course, and it is also a great opportunity for me to advertise my business through my golf balls, which you see here. I am not the best golfer in the world. I lose a lot of balls, so I try to leave my contact number so that whoever finds it hopefully will see my message of buying and selling condos and give me a call. So far, nobody's called me yet, but I hope that things might change in future as I play more golf. Right? So, golf, if you do not already know, is played on golf course. It's a huge field. It's 18 holes long. Usually, it takes about 4 hours to play the full game. But a golf course is not just all about golf. There is a country club there as well, usually, and it is most of them are wonderful facilities, and they host a whole range of sub facilities within that you can spend hours and hours in and not get bored at. So, for example, what golfers do when they're not playing golf, how they use a golf course or how they use a golf club. I will take Tropicana, it's kind of blocked here, sorry, but I will take Tropicana's clubhouse as an example. Okay, it is one of the golf courses that's closest to me. I will talk about a lot more after this, of course, but I will take Tropicana's golf course as an example. Basically, just look at the number of facilities you have in there. All right, so golf is not just about the game of golf itself, of course. Because of the facilities provided at the place which you play with the golf club, it comes along with a lot of other things which you can do to facilitate your time there also lah, basically. So like after golf, you can go to the bar. After golf, you can go for massage. Before golf, you can go practice. During golf, you can put your kids in the recreation center, play pool, whatever. And Tropicana even includes kindergartens and clinics, and there are a lot of other conveniences available over there. Not every golf course and not every golf club will provide the same facility, okay? But this is just to give you an idea of how broad the sport is. It's not just about one guy running on the field and swinging at a golf ball, chasing after a golf ball, okay? So golf, so yeah, that is golf pretty much covered in general as the sport and as how you kind of enjoy it, basically. So more importantly, moving on towards the real estate part, property part of golf is how has golf changed, the property landscape. For today's topic, I'll be covering, of course, more of Malaysian golf, and more specifically within the KL Selangor area, which I am based in. Okay, because these are the places where I have the most knowledge of, and it might be in, and it's not really very much different from the other states and also internationally. Whatever you see here in Malaysia, like all these facilities that you see in clubhouses here in Malaysia, a lot of this can be found in the same courses all over the world. All right. So onto the key facts and onto the numbers and figures of golf lah. All right. So just to explain some simple things here, which I already covered earlier. Golf is an 18-hole course. I mean, usually a normal golf course is usually 18 holes. So that means you got to hit the ball from 18 starting points and finish at a cup. And usually to set up a golf course, it uses about, on average, approximately 150 acres of land. All right, this is the approximate average lah. So about 100 acres is allocated to all the grass around the entire course, and 51 acres will be allocated to all the rough areas, so all the side areas, and then about 30 to the fairway areas, and the remaining, because there's still about remaining 80 over 79 acres here, right? The remaining space will be allocated to all the hazards and all the other what I think are decorative items like trees, lakes, ponds, and eventually housing. All right. This is a shot of this is from Bukit Jalil Golf Club. It is facing the starting hole. I forgot which one it was. And this is hole number 18. This is the ending hole. So over here, you won't see any housing because this is where the traffic for players will be most busy. All right. So the housing will be all around the other spots and also, of course, behind the golf club. All right. To give you a better idea of how this works, I'm going to move on to community golf, planned golf community developments. All right. So to better explain to you how a golf course has changed property landscape around the world and in Malaysia. Okay. So the very first planned community golf course and township in the world and USA, possibly the world, don't really know because there's no proper record of this. There was never any proper planning around a golf course. Even the very first golf course, which was called St. Andrews, I did not include it in here, in Scotland, was kind of founded out by accident, just so happened. It's in a seaside town in St. Andrews, Scotland, and it's a very beautiful place. I hope to go there one day, but then that is not a planned town. But Temple Terrace in Florida, USA is one of the planned towns. So the entire highlighted Temple Terrace area, which you see over here, is 4,889 acres. And the key feature of this town, before all these other hotspots, all these other points popped up, a lot of these things came a lot later. There are universities, hospitals, and all that. All those came later. But the very first feature of the town was, of course, the Temple Terrace Golf and Country Club. So, like over here, you can see the club the township wraps around the golf club, and the golf course basically wraps around the housing as well. All right. So this is the first case of having all the leisure, all the fun being the main highlight, being the main feature of your township. And why this was done is because having a golf course and the country club on its own is basically having all the facilities that you need already: the gyms, the education centers, the saunas, the spas, refreshment centers. All of that is available in there. All right, so it's a kind of like because back then there was no real high-rise buildings with their own built-in facilities. Having a golf course was like the one-stop shop center to have all of this. All right, so 4,889 acres for Temple Terrace is very big compared to one of our largest ones, which is Tropicana Golf and Country Club. That only goes for 625 acres. If you cover the entire thing, the country club, together with all the property around it, it's only 625 acres. But then again, Malaysia is not as large as America. We do not have that much land, so our projects cannot be as large as we want them to be, unfortunately, because of land scarcity. So like if you look at Tropicana here, Tropicana's resort over here, housing estate, there is this huge plot which is which is a forest reserve, which is not available for development. So unfortunately, land is limited. So we make do with what we can in Malaysia, but we also, it doesn't mean that we give up all the wonders that you see on Temple Terrace in America. Like, this is just huge. This is a giant. So Tropicana Golf and Country Resort, I'm just going to use this as one of my first examples today, is developed by obviously Tropicana Corporation. Before that, they used to be called 𝙇𝙤𝙤, and they eventually converted to their brand name of Tropicana. It is a housing estate, 625 acres. The number of houses I do not actually know anymore because it has changed over time due to a lot of subsale, subdividing, and also new developments that have been put together, that have been launched. They launch it in forms of, sometimes they launch it as they launch the project as pre-undercon projects. So that means you buy what you see the developer is building, and in some other parts of the entire neighborhood, you will buy plots of land and develop it on your own. Like over here in the actual country club itself, most of them are sold as bare plots of land where the buyer will develop the house on their own. And then, of course, upcoming on this side, Tropicana is launching one of their newer high-rise buildings over there. So this all adds to the number of available residences in Tropicana, which I am unfortunately unable to keep track. But it's just really a lot for the amount of space that we have. We really squeeze, as well, as you can see. So to give you because Tropicana's resort was they sold it off as bare land for developers, for buyers to further develop on your own. I'm going to move on to a different project, which is Valencia in Sungai Buloh by Gamuda Land. This will give you a better idea of how the other Malaysian developers have developed themselves around golf course land. Okay, so in Tropicana's case, as you can see, the clubhouse is not exactly in the center of the entire golf course as most golf courses would be, actually. Instead, it is instead of being at the main entrance, it is not exactly in the middle of the entire neighborhood either. All right, but on the case of Valencia by Sungai Buloh, in Sungai Buloh by Gamuda Land, they place their clubhouse in the middle, and they slowly creep out from there. Okay, so this gives all residents around the area an ample opportunity to use the clubhouse facilities that's available. Because you have to understand, with most of these developments, with every purchase that you make through the developers, you are automatically granted a membership as well to use these clubhouse facilities. Of course, you have to pay a monthly maintenance fee as per all other clubhouses, and of course this applies with high-rise buildings as well. We pay a monthly maintenance fee. So this concept is very similar to high-rise maintenance, and we have a lot more facilities available due to the much larger amount of land available. So this is a nice, this is a much more well thought out breakdown of how to use the land in terms of having it for golf, for recreation, and also for residences. But mind you, of course, Valencia came a lot later. It was completed in the early 2000s, whilst Tropicana has been an ongoing development since the 1990s. 1992, if I remember correctly, was when the first homes, was when Tropicana Golf and Country Club was first completed, and when houses started being developed over there. So it's an ongoing development till this day. We still see some small patches of development ongoing. So you can't really blame them for not being as well thought out, because changes happen. Some changes are out of your control, even though you are the developer. Okay, so moving on, more facts about golf in Malaysia. So I talked a lot about golf courses already I talked about Tropicana and also Sungai Buloh already, in Valencia and Sungai Buloh already. I'm going to talk more about golf courses in general in Malaysia. In general, in Malaysia, every major neighborhood has a golf course of its own. Okay, in Selangor and Kuala Lumpur, the entire state and territory, there are 46 golf courses alone. And in this screenshot is of Petaling Jaya around the Subang Airport at the back. In this screenshot alone, you can see that there are, if you pay attention to count them, there are 9 golf courses in this entire area alone. I have, of course, not played in all of them. Some of them are very private, but they are all, as you can see, surrounded by housing property. All right. So in the Klang Valley, basically over here listed, KL all the way to Klang, there are 36 golf courses available in these addresses. PJ, just this part itself, already has 9. Actually, this is not just PJ lah. This is partly Subang, Shah Alam. This is Shah Alam and Subang, and this part is PJ. So in this part of town, this part of Klang Valley alone, less than half an hour apart, there are 9. All right. So just to give you an idea, this is how important this sort of recreation was to the developers that developed this part of town. And this is a very mature and well developed part of Petaling Jaya, Subang, Shah Alam already. All the neighbors in this part of town are at least 25 to 30 years old. This includes the newer areas like Glen Mary. Even that is already at least 20 over years old. And as you can see, all of them revolve some way or another around a golf course in Malaysia. So it plays a huge role in the development of the country. All right. So all but one golf course, which is the Port Klang Golf Club, is not yet to be surrounded by housing estate, or yet to be surrounded lah, because it is at the very edge of Port Klang, next to all the factories. I believe it is a entertainment hub meant for all of the employees and staff who work around the Port Klang area. Those who play, usually they will play at Port Klang Golf Club in that area. Surrounding it is all factories. But in general, the rest of them, the 47 out there, are all surrounded by housing estates. Even the 𝙤𝙤𝙀𝙀𝙀 camp, the old 𝙤𝙤𝙀𝙀𝙀 airport, there is a golf course there. There is housing there as well. There are military base barracks there, and of course the ever delayed but soon to be coming the Malaysia project over there lah. Okay, so we will wait on that. So that's why I listed only one, which is Port Klang Golf Club, as the yet to be and not surrounded by housing project. Okay, so moving on. Earlier I said some of these townships. Earlier I said Tropicana is a huge but rather sporadic township, basically. So I'm going to move on to a not really upcoming, but also an ongoing development place and one area which I believe is full of potential, a township called Bukit Jalil. Okay, so Bukit Jalil really made a splash in our country in 1998 for the 1998 Commonwealth Games. All right, it was a special township developed by the Berjaya Corporation under the government's direction, especially at the time aimed towards the housing of all the sports athletes who will be attending the Commonwealth Games. So it is a special zone that started off with sports and recreation in mind. So one of the biggest landmarks, of course, for this topic would be the Bukit Jalil Golf and Country Club. It is a very beautiful course, very easy and newbie friendly to play. And why I said I would be talking about Bukit Jalil and why I believe in its potential so much is because from this satellite grab of Bukit Jalil, you can see the amount of the number of places I've highlighted circles. Those are either ongoing development land projects or land parcels are available for future development. All right. So Bukit Jalil has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plots available just from just by looking at it from this image that are either ongoing or will be developed on. All right. I will not go into any specifics of the ones that we sell, but I'm just going to give you an idea of its potential over there, its potential for you to live there, to enjoy the golf course itself, that 4 hours on a golf course or the everyday on a golf course you want if you are facing it directly. And also, and also if you're looking to it as a form of investment instead of for own stay, what are the sort of challenge? What are the sort of numbers that you're looking at, basically? Yep. So Bukit Jalil the Bukit Jalil Township, obviously the number one attraction I will list there for myself is the Bukit Jalil Golf and Country Club. All right. So the entire township, of course, has 2 major universities nearby. One is APU, Asia Pacific University, and another one is the IMU, International Medical University. So 2 fairly important universities. Of course, huge hospital there as well, IMU Healthcare. The National Sports Complex and School is available there as well. So this has, because of the 1998 Commonwealth Games and also because of the huge number of facilities available over there, not just for recreation, but also for personal development, for future sports superstars of Malaysia. A lot of these kids also, of course, reside somewhere near there, maybe with family or maybe on their own. A lot of these professionals, future professionals, spend their time around that area of Bukit Jalil due to all these complexes and facilities available there. And of course, one of the other most important public facilities would be the Axiata Stadium, which is not only used for sports, it has also been used for many other major events like concerts, esports events, and also major launches of car events over there. So basically, Bukit Jalil has a rather well developed, well thought out and well planned and well developed township compared to my previous examples. But this was because it had a purpose to serve to begin with, and with added conveniences, and with of course its main attraction. As you can see, it's built between 2 main highways. The Kesas Highway and this is the Bukit Jalil Highway is built in between these 2 main highways to serve this community over there around the golf course. And if you're not a golf player, I guess around the sporting and recreational facilities over there. Okay, so to the potential and of course the opportunities that you can find in Bukit Jalil. Of course, with all the facilities that's available over there, and with all the upcoming developments that's available in Bukit Jalil, which I think are very well thought out and planned, there will be owners who are looking to subsale their completed units from this example. But there are, of course, similar to the Tropicana developments, you can also purchase empty parcels of land for your own development, to build your own houses over there as well. All right. So as for the bungalow section, this is specifically under the country resort. I searched for the bungalow section. There are 54 subsales units available over there. And so they start from 3.3 million, which is one of the lowest. And to give you an idea of what you would be getting from living in this area, or later go back and check the video and check back this slide. You will be getting facilities which are similar to the Tropicana Golf and Country Club ones. And so what you're paying for may be very expensive. 3 million, a starting price of 3 million is very expensive, but then think of the comfort that you could be having. For all the conveniences which you will have in the future, they are either walking distance or less than 5 minutes away by travel. All right, I mean by car, traveling by car. Okay, so yeah, it, of course, there's a slight cost to it, but the conveniences which you will get, the opportunity cost for the conveniences which you get in future is, of course, much more positive compared to the price that you are paying now. All right. So what if I do not want landed? Because the barrier for entry to landed is very high. If you consider, the barrier for entry to landed may be very high. You can also, of course, consider high-rise options. Now, this is a completed project. It was completed in 2018. It is called the Link 2. Okay, so one reason of why I am using a completed project is because we are more of an educational and sharing channel. We are not so much we don't really hard sell you anything. So I'm just going to tell you the facts and figures that are already there. So it was completed in 2018, just a year before the COVID pandemic kicked in. And units, there are only 539 units over there. It was also, of course, developed by Vijaya, right next to the Bukit Jalil Golf and Country Club. And units started at 667 square foot. So if you are uncomfortable with the pricing of the landed units over there, you can explore the high-rise options that are available over here also. They are, of course, with high-rise, it comes with even more added security, many more layers of security. So because landed, it may be just one layer of security at the main guardhouse, and then your own door and your own gate, and everything else beyond that is on you. Whereas in high-rise, you have the added layer of security of lifts and scanning of lifts and the guardhouse and entering your unit and all of that requires an access card. So basically lower barrier to entry, and then higher chances, better security, but gives you better peace of mind in terms of security. Some people prefer that, some people prefer landed, but this is just another option. And so for 667 square foot, it starts at 431,880 ringgit. Okay, so this was prices when it first launched and made available to the public and completed in 2018. All right, so that is if you want to look into high-rise options. Now, what if you want to look into investment instead over there? Because maybe you already live in a golf township, you're very comfortable, and you know the benefits of having a condominium over there, condominium over there, because the opportunities are endless. During the summer months in Western and Northern Hemisphere countries, so places like Korea and Japan especially, so between late April, May, June, July, August, these countries, the people, golf crazy people from these countries love to fly over to Malaysia for just spend 3 months playing golf. It's very cheap for them because, of course, this sport can be very expensive in certain countries. They make it very exclusive. In Malaysia, it can be expensive, but it can also be inexpensive depending on where you play. All right. So they regard Malaysia as one of the best golf tourism destinations. And usually we get a lot of Koreans and also Japanese. So they will rent out your unit, Airbnb or whatever, not short term, long term, just to play golf. So if in case you want to look at that option of renting out specifically to golfers, or if you want to look into renting out to, if let's say you're in Bukit Jalil and you want to rent out to all the students and all the sports people around, these are the sort of prices that you're starting at. And what sort of returns you can expect to see if you get the bare minimum unit. The current asking price for rental in that area, semi-fully furnished, can be up to 2,000 ringgit a month, which comes up to 24,000 ringgit a year, or if you do the conversion, on average, it comes up to 5.5% returns per annum. And this, I can tell you, my friends, is an amazing percentage compared to a lot of the other rental prices, compared to a lot of, the other rental prices which you can collect from residences in unplanned towns or within the city center itself, because the city center is such, if you go to KLCC area, the city center is such a diverse and such a competitive space. You might not be able to get such amazing prices, which you can get from a town which was planned around a golf course like Bukit Jalil. So this particular project is of course completed already. If you want to look back into this particular project, you can contact us and we can source for a perfect unit for you. If you are a buyer looking to invest, we can of course also help you source for residences around the entire this particular golf course or any other golf course which you are interested in. I myself have been personally serving clients in the Bukit Jalil area quite recently since the MCO started lifting earlier last month. I started moving to Rawang back and forth a lot, and I have a lot of clients I have a lot of owners in the Bukit Jalil and Rawang area in general. So I've been serving a lot of clients over there. If you are looking to look for a sub-sale project in the Bukit Jalil area, because I spoke so much of it today, you can give us a ring as well after this. Our numbers and our contact details are listed all over our Facebook page, and also, of course, within this presentation. And if you want to leverage on the HOC campaign, the home ownership campaign, which is ending end of this year, of course, you can also contact us. We have projects around golf courses that that are HOC compliant, and of course, we also have projects around Bukit Jalil. This is an amazing township, which are HOC compliant, which is within our inventory, available for sale as well. So with that, I would like to end my presentation, and thank you a lot. And I will hand the floor back over to Jason. All right. Okay, discard.
Okay, thanks, Chicken, for the fantastic sharings. So if anyone have any questions or anything you want to discuss about it, or if you find that any properties surround and maybe you are staying just beside the golf course, maybe you can just comment inside the comment box so that we know more about that. Then we can discuss about it. Or you got anything you want to know about the current trends, current latest project which surrounding the golf course, you can also comment in the box. Of course, if you want to get the ebook for today's topics, please comment a PRO in our comments, then we will send you the ebook Okay. So thank you, Chicken, for today's sharings. So thanks everyone for coming tonight. So next week we have another fantastic. Next week we have thing will be in Mandarin. This week is English. So next week we have another section is the Mandarin sessions. So I'll share the topics out. So hope that next week please come again and learn the property knowledge from us. Okay. Thank you everyone, and thank you, Chicken, for this sharings. Thank you everyone. Good night everyone. Stay safe. Bye.
Bye
Good night.
𝗘𝘀𝘁. Okay, next topic 我講咩？